This relatively new plant to the houseplant market is called Anthurium pedatoradiatum, and it's named that way for the way that the finger-like leaves kind of fan out. And I really like that characteristic in leaves, so when I saw this plant, I ended up getting one and then coming back for a second one because I really enjoy that kind of look for plants. You could see that there's a new little leaf, kind of dry along the edges too, so I probably was a little bit remiss in keeping this well watered. But you could see that there's like a new little one kind of crinkling out here. And you could see some of the immature leaves actually don't have that finger-like look. In fact, they kind of look like a regular heart-shaped leaf. But the more mature ones you'll see actually have this kind of hand or finger-like quality to them. I actually give this pretty diffuse light, so this is growing kind of more in the interior of my space, but there is a grow light and there is some light coming in from a southwest facing window, but I think by the time the light hits this, it's probably a little bit more like low to moderate light. So I'm not watering this all that much, although this is a little bit more of a peatier mix that I'm giving it, and I just have them actually still in their nursery pots. And I would imagine that this is a little bit more of a terrestrial anthurium. So this is not something that's growing epiphytically on something else, just by the virtue of looking at what the grower is growing this particular plant in. This is native to southern Mexico, and like I said, this is actually a relatively new houseplant for me, so I can't give you as many tips as I would like to say because I haven't been growing this for more than a year, and usually I like to grow a plant out for more than a year, or at least a full growing season in order to give you a little bit more tips. One of the things that I have noticed is that it does have a little bit more sensitive tips on its leaves, so I notice a little bit of browning and yellow. Anything that would cause for too much concern, but I think that could actually mean maybe a little lack of humidity. These are a little bit thinner leaves, so I'd imagine if you're giving this plant a little bit of higher or moderate humidity, it's going to really love you. Otherwise, for moderate humidity, I think this plant has been doing fairly well, and like I was showing you, it has new leaves growing on it as well, and it's not even really the main growing season for this particular plant. As far as fertilizer goes, I would treat this the same way that I treat most anthuriums. I would give it a well-balanced fertilizer on a monthly basis, and if you see it actually really growing, then maybe you could actually up that up to a bi-weekly basis during the growing season, like spring, summer, and fall. Otherwise, I think that this plant is a very cool one to grow, especially for the leaf shape. So if you enjoy these types of plants too, then I would keep a lookout on the market for this one.